Good morning, it's Rosalie with Can't Wait to Plan. How you guys doing? Okay, so I am still tackling my craft room organization. And yesterday, it was a good day. I actually removed all of the drawers. I think I was mentioning, I'm reshuffling everything on my IKEA packs shelving systems. And so I had to remove all the drawers, I don't have space to remove all the content and stick it in something else. So I'm doing one at a time. And I got to the drawers. I had two drawers, one for blings and pearls and stuff like that. And then one for ribbons and bows, not ribbon, bows and rosette and things like that. And I started to reorganize them. And then I'm not halfway done, but I'm like 15% into it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot to do a before video. So I got a bunch of stuff kind of removed, but I already had them taken out of the drawers. So I'm not going to try to put them back in, but I just wanted you to get a feel of what I started with. I had a couple. So for my bows and rosette drawers, I have these IKEA Pax wardrobe narrow drawers. I think I measured for you. I think it's about 23 inches deep and about 17 inches wide, and it was just overflowing. So as you can see, 17 inches wide is not wide enough for some of these drawers. I had these bins that I had bought previously from IKEA. So I had a bunch of bows stick in. I don't even remove them. These are Anna Griffin bows, most of them. And I try to separate them by colors. After a while, it was just a hot mess. And the problem is I don't have enough room to have two of these lay next to each. Actually, I do. But once these lay on the bottom of the drawer, I have another one here underneath all this big mess here. So I had these two bins that was originally very nice to organize stuff, right? They lay nicely like this on the bottom of the drawer, but there's no more room to lay anything else on this side of it. So literally anything new that I get, or actually not even new, anything else that I have, I just throw it on top. And I had tried to, some of the bows I make myself and things like that, or rosette, I just put it in bins and stack them on top, thinking they're, easy for me to remove if I need to get down to this, but it doesn't work, and then I start getting these type of thing, and I just throw them on top. And so whenever I need something, and then after a while, that particular drawers is so full, I had to even just tuck them in some other drawers because it doesn't fit anymore. Every time I open it, things were just falling out. Especially after I got I start to get stuff from AliExpress. They come in a humongous, I think I used one bow out of here and it come in a humongous bag, and so on. So, and then these silly 99-cent store bows, I think, were so thick and big, and it just takes so much space. So little, and then the Dollar Tree stuff, and I don't even have them all here because, as I mentioned, I started to clean them up. But in any case, it was crazy. I have another bin here that I try to put stuff in to put on top of those drawers. But needless to say, it doesn't work. So I don't know exactly. I haven't tackled the bows and rosette. I even bought these crepe paper streamer thinking that I may try to do from Hobby Lobby these. I don't know why. These are exactly the same price. One is so much bigger. This is It's say it's 200 feet, but this is definitely not 200 feet, you know, isn't it? Like both of them say 200 feet here, but obviously maybe they have a bigger, no, they don't. I don't know if this is more tightly wound maybe. Anyway, this is better if it's the same size because it's take less room. But once you open them, it's like, who knows? To tackle maybe making rosette out of crepe paper, but I haven't been able to do anything with that either. So needless to say, we need to organize that because I cannot function with all of that. So then I have all these rosettes. I have a humongous, you know, I have these humongous bags of Anna Griffin thingy. They were actually, I just switched the bag when because they were just in a smaller bag and it was really huge. And it was just, this thing doesn't work anymore. So it was just like spilling out everywhere. It was so annoying, you guys. You could not believe. I was so frustrated. So I'm going to move a bunch of the rosette and ribbons out of the way so we can talk about blings, okay? Let me see if I can have a space to do that with. My goodness. So anyway, all right, good. Here, oh, and I even had some of the cheaper AliExpress bow. I bought a big bag of it, separated them in by colors. You know, I mean, I really been trying to do stuff. Actually, this I think was from Amazon instead of AliExpress. I can't remember. But anyway, it's been a while. But anyway, so now in my drawers for bling, now the bling I started to organize quite a bit already. So some of them I don't have here anymore. But you know how it is where you get blings, they come in. So I had this really old one that I absolutely love. It was from, I don't know, where members are created. What company is that? That funny rose one. But they were expensive and I used some of it, but I've been saving it. It's so pretty. It make these beautiful scroll, but they're humongous. It doesn't fit in anything. I finally put two sets and put them back to back. But this doesn't work because even with this thing folded down, it's just, this one doesn't even fold down. But I love the back. You should see the back of this. I don't want to cut it or anything or ruin it because it's just these beautiful black and white polka dot paper that totally can be used for other things once I use these up. But nevertheless, this should, I don't know what I'm going to do with it exactly. And then, you know, you have stickers that come in these stupid tiny packaging. Then you had the fat one, then you had these humongous long one. This is actually, I cut it down already because the crafter square was like 13 inches high. These one, they just stick way up there. It doesn't fit any container, even longer than this. And then you had this skinny long one that I had. I also tried to put like stuff like borders and some of the scrolls, some of them are 12-inch borders. And so every size in the rainbow, some skinny, some tall, some short, some fat. Sound like I'm talking about humans, what do you call it, physique. But you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. And my goal for, and I had a lot more, but I already started organizing. And then you have, you know, this, like, look at the various size you get in here. Actually, these are, you get that size. This is at least a somewhat, you know, but now this is a super fat one. Then you had a super skinny one. Then you had all these words one. Then look how tiny these are. You know, luckily, I don't think they don't make these anymore. This company, I think, went out of business. And then again, you have some fat one here. And they just come in so many different size, different things, that what I found was I was trying to accommodate the size of them and sort of storing side by size. Is that a right word? I'm not sure what that means. Stores, what do you call them? Similar size together. Let me show you a couple things also. Then you have these things like these beautiful box of, I think I got these, I don't know where I got these from, maybe Walmart or Michael's. This is Michael's. They're beautiful pearl blings, but again, I have to do something because once I open this, you know, these don't really close up very well. Then you had blings that you purchase from AliExpress. They just come in a bag like this, you know, and so on. So all so far I've done is just stick them in a bucket. I haven't, you know, then craft Dollar Tree start to do them. And so at one time, and then you had all these, let me show you these. You have these stuff I get from when I buy collections from, or not even collection, just stuff they had on sale on HSN from Crafter Companion. You had some of these. And, oh, and even these are even worse. These are like the one that they staple, so they don't even come in a, these are super old. They don't even, these are actual pearl size. These are beads. They're not even, so these are in the wrong area. These should be in my jewelry section. And then you had a bunch like this, you know, that came in a bundle of some sort. So it's just I didn't even remove them from the thing. And then you had stuff like this, where I don't know where I got this from. Then I even have whatever. So at one time I tried to organize it, and I used my the same bin that I bought 25 cases of or whatever. Like I bought these. This kit was in a big, humongous, even much bigger than this. It was like double the size from Michael's, I think. It was one of those bins. They have all these size mixed together. So I tried to separate them. They're flat back blings, no stickers or nothing. So I try to separate them by colors and just stick them in here, which is helpful. I had some old plastic one, you know, so I separate them to a certain extent, never touch them, because when I opened this bling drawer, same as the bow drawers, they were just peeling out at me. I can't even see anything. I can't even remember where. Oh, I got these from Amazon, I believe, and they came in a multicolor pack. Somebody suggested it on YouTube. I bought it, never did anything with it either because I just can't find them. They're in the bottom of the drawer. By the way, if you guys know a good glue to use with these flat back gems, you know, especially the larger one, please comment below and let me know. Some people I've watched say use the heavy duty gel medium, glossy accent. I don't know. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. I would love to, once I start using these again, I want to use a glue is easier for me than getting out the gel medium and use a brush and stuff. So let me know if that's, and I really don't want to buy art glitter glue, although I may have to if a lot of you say that that's probably the best. So at one time, I also started to, you know, try to organize, and I had this, let's do this one first. I had this old, I don't even know where, I never buy stuff like this, so I don't even know where it came from. I had this photo album, but it came with this nice pocket, you know, that holds the, I guess they're 3.5 by 5, 3 by 5 photos, and they were like that. So I thought, oh, okay, so maybe I can use them to store some of these odd size, you know, whatever bling that I have. And so I try to do that. It worked kind of, but I don't know. I don't like the fact that these, when they're on my shelf, first of all, if I store them vertically, it doesn't fit on my shelf because it's taller than you know, the normal 8.5 by 11 binders, so it doesn't fit the shelf height. And I store it this way, it's too short, and it's also stick way in, and it just look odd on my my bookshelf, and that bugs me to death. I know it's sort of an anal tendency I have, but that just bugs me. So I'm going to remove this, donate it, or throw it away, or whatever, and just find a better way to do it. Then I had all those little pocket pages that I've been buying from Amazon, and so I I had these that I had bought one time, I think to store my son's money, foreign money or whatever collection, and it didn't quite work. So I have a bunch of these. They're 4-pocket, like sideways. So I thought, okay, these may fit these nicely. But the problem is because it opened from the top like this, oh my God, it's so annoying. It keeps falling out. You see, I try not to stick paper in them, but I tell you, you have to stick paper in them because these are easy to fall out, and it just, I don't like it at all. Actually, it's not too bad now that I'm looking at it, but still, I prefer to have things going, you know, opening, but smaller opening and a bigger, like if this is the piece, I want to store it in something that doesn't open here, but open here. You know what I mean? So anyway, this kind of work, and it doesn't quite fit either. You know, like this drives me nuts because if I'm looking at this, I can see everything in the back. So I know I got lazy and say, okay, I don't need paper backing. This size is actually really good. It's have 3 pockets. And so you can fit a lot of things in there, but I don't like that. So I definitely need to, if I'm going to use this size sheet protector pocket page, I definitely need to put paper in them because you see what I mean? You can see everything in the back, so you get confused. It's, you know, with all the crap I collect, I'm already overwhelmed by the time I start. So you see how it's so much nicer when it's clear, when it's, you can't see the back of it. So anyway, some of these works nicely with the 4 pocket pages. So some, you know, but like this one, it was a long one. So I was trying to, I didn't have anything good to store these long narrow one, so I try to fold it, but that bugs me too because it was sticking out of here, keep falling out all the time as well. And I actually don't love this one I got from Dollar Tree, so I may have to find a way to use them up or gift them away or something. And then I have these, which is fine, they fit nicely, but I'm thinking I don't want to store them in binders anymore. And if I'm going to store them in a bin of some sort and I go this way, I know I think I tape them down a little bit, but I don't want these, if I'm going to store them this way, I don't want them to fall down that way too. So I'm not sure if this would work. I will test it out. But then you have some bigger one that just store nicely in the 8.5 by 11 pages. So this will be more like what I think I'm trying to do. So I had bought recently, last week, I bought every size pocket page that this company that I buy from Amazon have. It's called, the company is BMW, I think, or BMC or whatever. And they have a different size. They I guess they, what's the word? They specialize in baseball trading cards, and but they have other things, just like everything so far that I bought that's different pocket pages are all from them. So I was trying to look to see what any other size that they have that may be useful based on the size of embellishment that we get from the scrapbooking or crafting community, and I bought them all. I just bought a pack of 100, and so I'm gonna delve into this with some of those new one that may be giving me more options to organize some of these annoying bling stuff. And hopefully then when I start crafting again, I'll be able to find things quickly and that doesn't frustrate me. And I'll be able to also use them up because, you know, if you don't use them, they're just going to sit there and even accumulate more and more. And then eventually whatever system I design now will also overflow again. So wish me good luck. I'll be back hopefully soon. I don't know how long this is going to go. Today is Sunday. But who knows when I'm actually going to upload with my finished stuff. Okay, so wish me good luck and I will see you real soon. It's Rosalie again. Okay, so it hasn't been too bad. I did everything in one day. And so I'm going to show you what I've done with my bows and rosette, as well as my bling, pearls, you know, rhinestone, that type of thing, stickers. Okay, so before I do that, I wanted to show you my favorite thing in my craft room is probably these. These are sheet protectors. They're page protectors, but they have pockets for different things. And they have them also, not this particular company, but, you know, as with scrapbook page, they also have pocket page with different size one. But I much prefer the 8.5 by 11 because there's a little bit less wieldy to work with. And I've used them for years and years, probably, you know, I don't know, 30 years or so, because one of my sort of, and I don't know if it's common theme or whatever, but I'm trying to use vertical space. And so when you have embellishment that are small like this and they're all different sizes, that's the thing, to keep them consistent and to keep them more vertically, the vertical space to be used more efficiently. So when you have little things, and I'll show you when I get to the blings, that's like, I have some major inconsistency between packaging. It's really hard to store, as well as it's just kind of, I don't know, you can't do like with like as well. And you can't do, you just have to have so many different size containers to contain them. So I found that these work really well for me. Now, it may not be for you. So hopefully you just, you know, do whatever suit your style. But these tend to run about $20 for a box of 100. So they're 20 cents each. So that may be too much. But for me, that amount of money that I use over the years is just worth every bit of it. So they come in a box like this, and it's actually, this one is Ultra Pro, but I usually buy the BCW. Let me grab one. I like the BCW the best, and I've tried different brand. Ultra Pro is not bad either. I've tried different brands, but let me see if they're about the same. This one, BCW, is a slightly bit thicker, but I don't know that they make these 6 pocket page, so I have to check. But over the years, I've tried different brand. I actually just tried an Amazon Basics brand that was a bit like, maybe instead of $20, it was $16. But they were so bad. It was thin, the stitching, you know, the thing here where they heat seal it to separate the pocket was just, you know, perforated. It was just weird. So I quickly return it, and so on. So those are some of the sizes are linked in my Amazon link below. I don't have an Amazon store or anything like that, but I do have links for the sizes that I use. So I went ahead, I did not have all these sizes in the past. I love this size. I use in the past this size as well as this size. So these are the 3 sizes I use the most from the past. So these hold, you know, like the business cards or the baseball card type thing. These hold your 5x7 card. So when I have finished cards, usually I stick them in here because I do mostly 5x7 cards and slimline. And then these hold like 4x5 type photos or embellishment and things like that. So these are the 3 sizes I use. And what I do, as you can see here, is I put it on my brother labeling system, and I put the size that I need to cut these out. So all of these are able to be cut out by 1 sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper. And I use a different, for years, I just do my master sheet without these. So every time I go to cut the insert, I had to remind myself what it was and so on. So I don't know why I was so stupid back then. But anyway, so I did this. It helped so much. I just put it right next to you know, right with the box of the stuff if I need more filler page. And then what I do typically is that when I cut them out, I just fill them up with my thing on the top, and then everything on the bottom doesn't have the filler paper, but sometimes you don't need the filler paper, but I'll show you when I do need them. And then but I used to stick these for the master sheet. I used to just use white. So a lot of time I keep pulling out the same master sheet, which I don't want to pull out because it had the label. I wanted to pull out the other ones. No, finally, yesterday, I thought of like crap. Why don't I just make them with color paper? I got a shitload of paper here. So let's do that. So I did that. So anyway, that was much better. So these are the size I had before. But a couple of weeks ago, when I started to look into how to better store a lot of my stuff, I smart up and I went and bought all the sizes that I can find for pocket page from BCW or maybe Ultra Pro. But in any case, so I found this size, which is basically double like this, but so the pockets, the width is the same, but the height is a little bit more, and you'll see how much I've used this size since I bought it. I had this in the past. I didn't just buy it, but I don't love it, and because it is also a little bit wider than the 8.5 by 11, I don't know. I rather use this one because this is only 3.5. This is almost 4. And so on. So I have these. I will use them as I need to, but I don't love them. And if you have, I think if you have A2 cards, they would fit. If you make A2 card size, it would fit well in here. But anyway, I don't love it, and I don't like the various. I like everything to be the same. I don't like it when one is vertical, one is horizontal. I'm so anal, I tell you. And then I love this size. This is basically for longer piece, 4 by 11 approximately. I've used it quite a bit, and you'll see it in a second. And then I should have done that. And then the size that has this one is 3.5 by 8. Now, I did tell you that I don't love the one that open on the top, but if you find things that fits very perfectly in here, then they don't tend to fall out as much. And by having a filler paper in the background too, that helps a lot too. When you just stick the embellishment right in the pocket without any paper kind of holding it, that can be a problem. Now, I don't find as much problem with any of the lower one, but for the top one, in case anything you have may slip out, you can do a removable tape on your paper or plastic, and that will keep it in place as well. So that's just a few tips for that. And then of course your 8.5 by 11 sheet protectors. Now, I had my mom just clean out her craft room. She's basically blind. She's going very, very blind with macular degeneration. I hope I don't inherit that. That's just like the most horrible thing you could ever have. Anyway, but so she had a bunch of these that she bought on sale, and so she gave them to me. They're a bit thinner than what I like. I don't know what brand or anything. It's just she gave me a whole bunch, so I'm gonna use it up. But the one I usually use is this one. It's from it's C-Line 62013. So, yeah, and it's nice and it's thicker. It's much better quality. Now, you can try different ones. There's so many of them. I have not tried like many. I just know what I like. And my favorite one that I was so lucky enough to buy a whole bunch back then, but I've used them all up. But I do know that back then, this is the only brand I use. Therefore, there are embellishment and things that I store in here, in this really thick one that I don't need to, because the thick one is best to use when something you have is a little bit lumpier. This was from a store called 20th Century Plastic, and I believe they're still around, but for some reason I could not find these really nice heavy-duty sheet protectors anymore. So if any of you know of a really heavy-duty one that you love, please comment below and let me know, because I'm in the market to get those. Okay, so sheet protectors done, check. So I'm going to start with the bows. Now, I have a lot of, so these were the bins that I was using to store mostly my Anna Griffin bows. I love the way she ties her bows, or the one that they market. I don't think she sit there and tie them herself, but they are very, very nice. They're the size I like. These may be a little bit too big for you, but they're just so perfect. I love it so much. So anyway, I bought many in different colors, though she does have smaller size as well. You know, some of these you have to kind of bend it down as their store. So I took them mostly out of the plastic bags that it came in and just re-clean up, make sure everything is in its correct color and so on. She actually, back then when they used to do scrapbooking, she even had one where, you know, it's long here, you can put a photo in the middle and then it look like, it's so pretty, but they don't sell these anymore. Anyway, so I separate them, make sure everything goes in the correct bin. Why do I have, yeah, these are the lighter green and so on. And then I found that I had these. They were in the bottom of the bin, couldn't even remember I bought these. These were actually quite expensive. I don't know why they were so expensive, because you can create your own nowadays. But they were like $3.50. I'm sure I bought it on sale. But this was like kind of like the set. They have the cute bows, and then they have the photo corners. So I want to keep one as it came in. They also had one where it was just corners, and I think it only came with 4, but I figured, and it has a different price on there. I always want to keep the price. I just want to know what I pay for things. So I actually took all of this sets and put all of the ribbon corners together in the ribbon corner bag, and I kept this one together. But most of the others that, you know, I've used already, so I'm just going to take them out and stick them in the appropriate color bin, right? And that way I don't need to worry about these separate one. But these I want to keep. Now, unfortunately, the green one, or these I can fit in here, but they're not just green, and the purple does not fit into this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw them on top here for the time being. I could do this as well, but when I do that, then I can't stack them. So this tray is the one that I use the most. I love the green, the gold, the whatever, and also the pink, but I can't do that. So if this one I'm probably going to have on top, and if I'm going to stack them, I'm going to stick it like that, so that way it's okay. Or I can just throw it on top. It's easy enough to move out of the way. Okay, so I decided to keep this. I was thinking of like getting, you know, different basket size and things like that, but I just want to get this done for the time being, and I can always look for them, but I think they work out well. So that was that. Now, if you remember, I had a bunch of bows that I bought. I think there was still a whole bunch that I bought that from AliExpress that I haven't even opened. I sort of throw all my AliExpress purchase that I haven't really file away or categorize and stuff in a bin. And I know there were some bows in there, but at least the one that I have here already filed, I went ahead and organized them. So I had a humongous bag of these. They were in the lousy, you know, what do you call these? I don't know what the material called, polyethylene, I don't know. But anyway, they were falling out. It was all wrinkled. So I put them into a Ziploc, which helps. And then I took about 5 of them, and I stuck them into my purple bin. Now, I'm not planning to use this and just keep Anna Griffin bows in there. I'm going to put all my bows in there, and so on. So, and then for the rest of the other one, I did have a few other kind of like mixed color like this. So what I did was I could not find other, I could not find a Ziploc bag that would fit well in the bin that I already have here. So the closest size was this, but it doesn't quite fit well, you know. So I decided I'm just going to keep them in these. These are fine. I actually found better one than what they came in. This one was squished down to like half the size of this. You couldn't even see anything, and they were hurting. They were hurting the ribbons or the bows. It was not nice at all. Anyway, so I kept them the same size, which makes it nice about being consistent. But I also picked a bag that fit well into this. Okay, unfortunately this doesn't fit in. Well, it kind of does, but it's so big. I'm gonna store it. I'm probably gonna store that at a different place for the overflow. Okay, so that took care of those. And then I had I had these that came in this really crappy bags. Some of these bags are nice, but some of them are really cheap and thin. So I went ahead and find the correct size bag that fit in here. And I'm going to transfer, I'm going to consolidate. They came in 2 bags of 50 or whatever it was. So I'm going to consolidate into 1 bag. And I'm not going to worry about sorting these because they come in so many different colors and they're super tiny. So I didn't want to incorporate them in the color scheme either because I won't be able to find them as well with all the larger bows here. So I'm just going to do that. And make them nice and flat and pretty and stick them in there. Okay, so that's what I did there. I also found, let me move some of these over to the side so we have some space. I had, let me see. Then I had purchased some of these things. I don't know from what I just love the bow. I think I do a lot of different holiday boutique mostly, and so you just want to support your fellow crafters and boutique vendors. So sometime I go around and if I think something cute or whatever, I buy them. So these I had them on here, but this card is a little bit too thick. I do want to keep the price, but I didn't see a price on here, and I want to be able to cut them but still keep them nicely on this little thingy here, whatever you call them. And I want to keep the name of the company. So I'm going to cut it down like this and then just store it in here for the time being. Okay, and I think that works. Then I got this from my daughter's last year's birthday party. And I love the purple. It has some other frosting on it, but that's okay. We clean it up. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Maybe something. She loved purple. So I'm going to keep it as is. And it doesn't fit in the purple one. And we don't plan to use it for that purpose anyway. So I'm going to put it in something I'll show you in a little bit. Okay, so that's that. And then we got to, I think I'm done with the bow bin here. So let me move it out of the way so that it doesn't topple over. Okay, so then I'm going to pull back my sheet protectors real quick. Okay, so now we have like bows that come into these things that you know, you buy from whatever, you buy from Dollar Tree and Michael's and stuff like that. So I don't know if you remember, I had a bunch of these that I bought from the 99-cent store, and they were super chunky. So I tried to stick them into the sheet protectors, the appropriate size one, but they were so lumpy and so huge like this, you know, that it was just no. So and they were all burlap. So I decided to take them apart. I cut out the plastic that they came with, the acetate, into small square to protect the foam dot. But I just put the largest one on the bottom, and then the next size up, and then the real small one. They actually came with zip tie thingy to wrap around a gift or something. So I kept those there, and I'm just going to throw them in here. Okay, that works the best, I think, for the super lumpy bows. And then I also got this from, I have no idea where this, oh, this is Paper Studio, Hobby Lobby. Again, these are super lumpy. I mean, they're not burlap, but I wanted it to get them onto, let me throw these over here. I do want to keep the price though, but that's okay. So these, we know it's just 99 cents. But where's my sheets? They're so clear, you can't see them when you get them. I saved one that I was cutting up, because these acetate are good to save, you know, when you're doing little things and need something. Did it fall out somewhere? That is so wacko, man. It's like, I just had it here. Okay, never mind. Doesn't matter. But that bugs me though. You know, like you just had something right there and then it's not there anymore. So anyway, I'm going to pull these out. These are not foamed out. They're just, you you know, those glue dots. I'm gonna pull them out gently. Now you can always add new glue dot on there, but I still just want to keep those that came with it. And see, now if you don't care, you can just rip them, but still, when you rip them too hard, you could ruin the, you see how some of them, they're, if you're not ripping them out nicely, they would pull out the material that the bow is made out of, because these are just like, you know, the glitter just glue on or whatever. Man, this glue dot is nice. It's really sticky. It's really sticky. Super sticky. Okay. And so this piece of acetate is pretty crappy now too, because of all the residue of this bow that it's in. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one up and just stick it on the bottom of those glue dots. Okay. So now I'm going to cut these up, and I'm going to lose them, I'm sure of it, because I can't see them. Okay, you guys are going to be yelling at the TV, say, or your iPad or whatever, and say, it's right there, Rose. Okay. All right, we've got two of them, and I think the other one fell right here somewhere. See? See what I mean? It's gone. It's gone. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so these lumpy babies are going to go in here as well. I could put them in the gold thing too, but they're so lumpy. And then I had these bows that were just being so I cut them out of the thing. I put them in a bag that's nice, that fits well, you know, with this. And I'm going to keep them in there, although I could put them in the gold one too. So we're done with the lumpy stuff. Now these are not as lumpy. So I was thinking that these would be good to be in my pocket page. Now these are like the zip tie thingy, which is kind of not, I don't love those as much, because if you lose the zip tie, all these bows will come undone, right? Oh, and I did want to find out, yeah, it's okay. So they're going to go, I think the best one is going to be probably this size, because I could cut these down. You see, since I already used two of them, I could cut them down like this and be okay with that, right? So let me grab my, now I may not be able to cut it with a paper trimmer because it's kind of lumpy. Yep, probably not. So it's okay. I'll cut it right here. Hopefully I don't cut my bows. I better do it from this side. Actually, you don't want to do that because... Okay, and then... And I do want to keep how much it is. So I'm using this. This is not the one I'm going to use because this is my master, but I'm just going to show you briefly how you could do that, right? So this is going to fit pretty, you just be gentle in, oh, it's got caught with the zip tie in the back there, but just cut it to the right size so that you can keep it, all of them in the correct size version. And usually I don't put stuff on both sides because when I store them, and I'll show you how I store them, I just want to flip one way, and it's kind of lumpy, so you don't want it on the other side either. This is pretty good to size. I'm going to just stick it in the back so I know how much that is, okay? And since my storage system is storing these on the side like this, I put this on top. I always put my stuff towards the bottom. If it's floating, I put it towards the bottom. So when you put it here, it doesn't like get all crooked and stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like, again, super anal. And then these, you can tell it doesn't fit, but that is probably the best size because if I go to this side, it's okay. If you want to do that, that's actually okay as well, but you don't store as many. And I think these, I could juggle it down, move some of these over, and maybe put these sideways that way, and I should be able to fit them in here, cut them down, fit them in here quite well. So I think that's what I'm going to do with that. Same with this. This actually already fit by itself. like that. Okay, so you could do it that way. And then these I probably have to fit them in something like this. Just have to pull these apart and not have them staple like that, because the staple was kind of wonky, right? Look at that. It's just like looks so crappy. I mean, God, you know, I think this must be a return, because I bought it on you know, one of those Christmas clearance thing, and it just, I can't imagine that the company would make the thing look so crappy. But anyway, after we clean this up, that should fit nicely in something like this. Okay, so don't be afraid to cut the paper down, to cut different things down so that fit well, but that's what I think this would be best for. And again, this is the same as that. So you get the idea, yeah? Okay, so there we go. I used to not cut things down. I just want to keep everything in its original package, but you know, it doesn't work that way. So do it, you know, whatever works for you to keep your insanity. All right. Okay, so I put my bow here for now. And okay, so then I also have a bunch of rosette. And I used to have, you know, I have embossing folders and things and dies to make a rosette, and sometimes I just make a bunch to play with and stuff like that. And I had these in these container, and they were just too big and they were flowing. I had them in 2 different ones, and so this actually works much better. I like that, and I still have room to make more. I had purchased a bunch of one bag of Anna Griffin already made bows. The Christmas one, she had it on sale as well. And I'm not going to store them in here because this is pretty heavy, and this is going to be for my desk. But the so cute, right? TJ Maxx, $7. But for the time being, because I don't have a container this size anywhere, and I try to put them in the bin, you know, the bin that I was just showing you, like this, something like this. But this looks so much better. So I decided that I would try to find some kind of plastic containers that look like this, a jar, and maybe even a little bit taller or whatever, that I can stick all these in. But and I put the label back in there. But they're quite a bit, so I don't know until I start using them more. Until I start using them up, they may need 2 different plastic round containers to use. But these, it's just like you don't want to buy anything expensive for this, because you're going to use them up and you may not be buying anything else more on that, although that fits there. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing for the time being for those. Okay, and then let's see what else. I think that's all we did for bows. I think that was all the bows we have. Okay, so now let's talk about embellishment. So I had these already made. For some of these, almost look like, I said it was not diamond dots, but I bought these as a mix set from Amazon. So I separated them by color. Those are good. I bought this set kind of like this. From wherever, Bead Landing, they sell them everywhere, and I did separate them by color. But I think this is actually pretty nice as is. And when I opened the tape up, it's actually not one of those that you open on the side and like a regular box. This is actually like this. So I think for the time being, this is actually a good storage system for that large set. So I'm going to keep it like that. I do have this already. We showed that earlier. And I have the smaller bows that I bought from Amazon, all separated out by color. They're kind of the mid-size, not the tiny one that I just showed earlier, but the mid-size. So these are fine as it is right now. I just got to remember to use them. So I kept those in their original system. And then for these, I'm going to show you, I started working on them already, but I'm going to show you how I decide what to use and how I do it, so that way in case it helps you, because if you've never used the sheet protector system, that you may be like, you know, I don't know, I'm not sure. So anyway, I found in my stash of stuff I threw in that bin all these tiny things, right? Which is like, oh my God, it's so crazy. So the best one, and you know, you make your master, you can just keep them out here, see which one. Oh, there it is. See, I knew it. You can keep them. I usually do them by pocket size. So I have the 2-page, the 3-page, 4-page, 6-page, that type of thing. This is 5-page, and so on. But these, you can like tell by the size of them that this is the best. So all you do, actually, I have one here. So I will just stick them. Now, just so you know, for this one, for this size, the 9-pocket one, the 3 closest to the 3-ring thingy, binder thing, is the largest one. So these are slightly smaller than this. I don't change the way I cut the filler paper, but just know that these, so anything that feels a little tight, you can always stick them in that one, because that's what it is. Also, another tip that I have is that because I store them this way, for the most part, if I have something super heavy, like I cut it out of a belt or something, or I don't know, it was from clothing or a purse. It's so pretty, so I wanted to keep it. This is very heavy, so I try to stick heavy stuff towards the bottom. Now, when you keep doing that, of course, then the bottom of your box or whatever you store them in is going to be lumpy down at the bottom. So, you know, if the piece is lumpy but not heavy, I do try to mix with the top and the bottom. Now, this one doesn't quite fit inside. Let me see. Fits enough. It's a little bit very bulky. I have this beautiful, look how gorgeous that is, right? So I'm going to use that as well. That's not so lumpy. And so also, just so you know too, or just so you're aware, is the upper, these pockets, I try not to store anything that stick out too much, because, you know, it's the one that's open to the side of your container, whatever you use. So try to not stick something like this, right? Where it just stick out and it's going to be caught in something, and maybe your container is not even big enough. So these, I try to stick on the, again, this one is thicker, so bottom. But because I don't want to do that here, I'm going to do that here. Okay, so again, similar things next to each other. Now we have the super tiny thing that's going to be perfect for up here, right? Because I'm going to go down from my step stool there. And actually, I'm going to move this one just so that I have 3 of exactly the same thing on the top. And usually if I have my choice, and actually I will fix it because it's going to bug me, is I will do larger size things always on the bottom. So on here, I'm going to move this, switch place, so that way large things are on the bottom. It's just more pleasing to my eye when I look for things, and I kind of know where to look for it. This one, you could tell it's a little bit bigger. Now, you can definitely shove it in there, I think. Not really, actually. But because if you measure just the beads itself, you can tell that it actually will fit in the box. So I will do this. I will take this out. I will keep this. I open it and stick it in the bag. Now, if you want to keep, this one is not a good thingy to keep these stored in, but if you want to keep them in their original thing in case these fall out and things like that, you're welcome to find something else, or cut those down. But this one, I'm just gonna stick it in there. Sometimes you have to cut the acetate sheet a little bit, but this one are just perfect. So I'm gonna do that. And I know I had a few of these left, but anyway, so, and you can move things around if you like, okay, I want all these separately, then I just use them because I have them here to show you. But, you know, like if you want to store like with like, these may go with these type of crystals. So I bought these. I guess they're just, oh, they're tattoos, right? So I can take them out so I know what they are. And again, I had a bunch of things. These are really cute. I'm going to keep those for sure. I had a bunch of, I'm going to keep them back in here because there was a page that had a lot more of these shape type crystals. So I'm going to put them with those because will be, but this one I can get rid of or store for the future. Okay, so that's basically that. And with this one, I will definitely, this would fit in here, but I don't think I wanted to do that because they're small. So I am going to, now I kind of want to keep this, what do you, I don't know what you call these things, these dome shape. They're not a dome, but you know, like in case you want to do a special type of shaker cards or something like this, that's kind of will be useful. So I'm going to keep that, and especially also the bottom. But this, I'm going to keep it over here with the shape one because I do have things that are a little bit more shape as an actual item. So I think I'll store that with that. And this I can ditch. This, okay, I know we won't know where it came from, but it's good enough. Okay, so that's that. And then I want to show you, these are super useful for these type of thing that you get from Hobby Lobby. You'll see a lot of crystal come in this size. This fits just perfectly in there. You can just leave it that way, or you can take it out and cut them down to size. You know, you can cut the bottom out so they fit better into the thing. That's up to you, but for now I'm just going to stick them this way. But if you have more and you're going to store them this way, again, definitely take them out like this. And you know that this is based on the sizing here. It's 5.25 in terms of the length. So just take this out, cut this bit to 5.25 with the bottom out, and then store your thing like this. Well, you can store this in the back even, right? And that way, and you can even put that back in here. And that way it doesn't stick out if you have some over here. You see how perfectly it fit there? But for now, I don't need to do that because I'm not going to do it on the video. So I'm just going to do it like that. All right. Now, I had a whole bunch of these that I got from Crafter Companion. Definitely do not want this lumpy goodness in there. It's a nice box. I may keep the box to you know, fix up do something else with it. But this is crazy for just a tiny little bit of pearl right here. And you may want to store your pearl and your crystals separately somehow, but for the time being, I'm just going to stick them with these. So these doesn't quite fit in here, but I can tell that they will fit if I cut down the acetate a little bit. So again, do that. And then if you wanted to tell where it came from, you can just maybe cut something from here and just stick it in the back. Okay, so I'm not going to spend time doing that, but I just wanted to show you. And then I got these also from Crafter Companion from one of the kit. And again, you can tell that these should fit nicely in here. Actually, they fit perfectly already. So in case, yeah, you need to trim a little bit. So it's actually not that bad. Just trim it down the size here. And voila, you have it. Nope. The voila sounds so good. I should have worked, but it didn't. So you have to cut on both sides, and now they fit perfectly. But you see what I mean? When this one, you definitely need the filler page here because this is clear. But this one, if you didn't have that there, it's actually even better because it's like that, right? So you could have a mix of these protector sheet, some with even on the same sheet, some with the filler paper and some without. Yeah, it's because it definitely does not need to always have the filler paper. And you can use scrap paper for the filler paper too. The one, you know, I save all the one-sided paper, so you can use the white part for this and the part that have printing on the back, so that you don't waste it and you can recycle, right? So I'm going to do that later on off camera and finish that up. Alrighty, so now let's go to, oh, I did that already. Oh, I also have these beautiful, you know, whatchamacall these, what do you call these? I don't remember, but I think this one should fit nicely in here. So I'm going to stick it in here instead of just throwing them in the bin where I couldn't see it and I forget that I have it and then I don't use it, you know. But just, and if you need something to guide it in, I usually just take my ruler or something a little bit flatter and thicker to help do that. All right. So yeah. Okay. So there's no rhyme and reason on his, but I'm gonna, when I put them away or organize them, I will put pearl with pearl and that type. So don't worry about that. And then another way to use these wonderful size. I love that size. Actually, let me pull that size up so we know the size we're using. Oh, here's the other one. I knew I had some more of those. Are these? I had a bunch of thing from, I think these are from me and my big ideas back then. They're shaped crystals, rhinestones, they're words and things like that. So this is what I was talking about when I said I was going to store these with them. Okay, because that's gonna be easy enough. These are so thin. I'm gonna go ahead and store them together. Now, when I wanted to store this in here as well. This, I already took it out of the thing. I don't know why I had it on here, but that's what it is. That's fine. I'm going to stick them in here. Now, I have one here and two here. So, one of my tip is that if you have something thicker, stick the thicker one on the outside and the thinner one on the bottom. Now, or stick the one that fits the best to the width of it and stick them outside, and stick the one that doesn't have the best fit, because see, this doesn't fit the width, stick them on the inside. So you can do both. Now, these are thin enough, so I think this would work. But you know what I mean? So that way, when you have something thicker here and thinner here, that works. But if you have the thicker one here and the thinner one here, there's so much space here that the thinner one may just roll out. You know what I mean? So that's actually what I try to do. But these fit so perfectly that I think this is actually better on the outside. And then I'm going to put the instruction for the tattoo in the back of this one, just like I did that for this one. So again, go to the bottom, and that way it's there. Okay. Now I do have more of those, so you can see I could have kept, I could have kept those shape in another place and put this here, but I don't want to have that there because it's too long. So I would do that more here. And I think those are iron on. Put the relax word here. So I try to do, now I can do this here, but I don't like the fact that that's black. I hate that look. And so I'm going to take these out. And these were so long anyway too from the thing. I should have bought a clip. What do you call those? Not a clip, a forceps? No, that's for surgery. What do you call these? But the longer one. Tweezers. Tweezers. Yeah, see? I'm not. So I'm going to take that out just so it looks prettier. And, you know, we're artists, right? We're very visual. And now these, I can fold up thinner. I can even put them that way. I'll just stick it in the back just for reference of what I have. And same thing with this, right? And then I have this lumpy one that actually The lumpy one I tried to do on the bottom, remember? So I'm going to probably just stick them down here. And I probably won't store these together. This is better to be stored with this piece, right? Because, again, it is not, you know, rhinestone and things like that. And then I'll do the same with this. Then you also have these bits here type thing. This I would definitely cut down and maybe store them with other things than this one, than this particular sheet. Yeah, but again, you see how many of these come in the skinny one. Then I also had this one. It's, you know, it's a little bit wider. Again, just cut them down and stick them in the thing. Now this one, it's, I don't, you know, some of these are older, so I don't want to take them off and move them over here because the glue may not be at its best. I do want to keep the what it is there. So actually, I'm going to do that. And then just keep the Martha Stewart there on the top. And now these should fit nicely in whatever, right? Because that's what it is. All right, so that's those. Let's see where I'm at here. I think I'm almost done, guys. Sorry, this is taking a little longer than I expected. Okay, then you have things like these, right? Again, this, if you measure them, this would work, or this size would work, right? Because of the size, so you could actually stick. But I mentioned I don't like when it's too big over it, because first of all, it's wasteful, but secondly, it tends to fall out more. So I like this size the best. This is the 4-pocket one, but as you can see, it doesn't quite fit in here either. So again, just do a little bit of bling surgery, right, on this. You know that the size of the pocket is 3.9 on the side. And so I'm just going to cut this down. What did I do with, oh, here. Okay, so these I'm going to move over here. I'm going to cut this down a little bit. Sometimes you want stuff in the back, but for the time being, I didn't see anything that I need to have. So usually, I just want, you can cut them out from one side, but I kind of wanted to make them, actually, you don't need to because it's almost 4. So you just need to cut it down just a tad to make it fit. And then on the top, I don't need the holes because sometimes you may want the item number, the SKU or whatever. So if I don't need anything up this way, I will cut the top out instead. And this is almost 5.4. So that actually works. Now I know that this is wider than a little bit wider than 5.4. I mean 3.9. So I'm going to cut this on the side. I'll go ahead and cut this side too, because I don't need it, right? And now you can still stick it back into here if you like, because sometimes, like you said, right, if you don't use these right off the bat, you're afraid that the glue come off, and then, you know, and you don't have to even stick them up. But these bags doesn't have to be redone the exact dimension because they're soft, so they will bend. And these are heavier, so I'm going to stick them in here. You see? There you go. Yeah. And I also, these one almost fit here as well. Again, it will fit here, but it's too loose. So these I'm going to, these from Michael's. I'm going to cut it. Now, these are lumpy, but not too lumpy because these tend to stick. So I'm going to do a little bit of surgery there as well. And see, now this is so pretty. I kind of don't want to ruin that. So I may just keep this in my stash, and I'm going to take another piece of paper that I have somewhere and use it. See, I even take, this is Irish butter. I cut it out after we use it and put it in here because I totally like that back, right? So again, I can put it to, what's the size we need? We need 3.9 across. So here's 3.9, right? A little bit smaller than 3.9. And then, oh, I mean 5.4, shoot. Oh, well, it's fine. And then 3.9 is this way. Oh, that's completely crooked. What the heck? What the heck? And then 3.9 on this side. That's the size. Oops, see? Keep forgetting to hold it down. Okay. Oh, I gotta hurry up. All right. So I gotta go get my son his food for breakfast. Okay, so now that should fit well. I'm just gonna load it back in kind of nicely so it doesn't pile on top of each other, because we don't want the bulk, right? We just want it to fit nicely in just the way they came in the original packaging, which we saved. That's a pretty background frame that you can use for your photos or something. So that's that, right? So I could even make this smaller, I mean shorter, but I'm okay with that. And then again, now when it's bulkier, you may want to cut it down a little bit more, but I can do that if I want to, but for the time being, see, when you have the flap, it's better to, the closure, it's better to do it this way so that it doesn't get caught on the top, just like the way it got caught a minute ago when I tried to do it. So there you go, right? You can spread them apart a little bit, and that should be fine. Same thing with here. It's almost fit. Just take it out and cut it away. And to make it fit, these one happen to fit perfectly. So again, you can just stick it in like that. Now this stick out a bit. So again, I probably would keep that down here, or, you know, whatever the one you have. I have multiple of these, so that's going to all go on the same sheet. And same thing with this. It's, well, actually this one fits. No, it doesn't quite fit. So again, do a little bit of surgery on here and you're fine, right? You get the idea? Alrighty. So now I'm a messy person. Okay. So now I want to show you some of the one that works really well with this size. This is the 3-pocket one that is going horizontal. Okay, there's the other one. And they're 3.5 by 8. And so you get stuff like this, right? That's a little bit longer and so on. So I want to show you that these actually fit quite nicely. So now if they don't fit like that, just bend them over, right? And if they stick out just a tiny bit, that's not bad, especially if you have them on the bottom. Same thing with this. Now you do have a choice. You can also use them in that two pocket one, right? The one, for the 5x7, that would work well too, but still it doesn't fit. You still have to fold it, and it fits a little bit better. But because this is so lumpy, this is not so lumpy, but this is. So what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna cut this part out, but don't cut it above where the seal is, so that way it stay closed. I'm going to take this out of here in case you want to know where it comes from. If you don't want to know where things come from, because you don't do videos using them or anything like that, that's going to be so much simpler because you can just ditch these, right? But for me, I wanted to know. So I'm going to keep this in the back here. Yeah, like that. Oops, I should do it on the correct one, not my master. And then I can stick this right in there as well. Okay, this one is okay because it's super thin. Now, I don't like that. I'm folding onto the thing. Again, if you don't care, you don't need to do what I'm doing. But I'm going to remove it and move it up just a tad so that it doesn't bend over the price stick like that, because it's going to bug me. And then this is actually pretty perfect. At the end, you don't want it to stick out, but again, it doesn't fit here. So again, you can go in, cut out the bit here and to make it fit better, right? And then the same thing with this, right? You can cut it down. I already used some, so that's perfect. But even before I use it, it's actually still would fit if you just cut down the paper backing. Now this, you have two choices. You could use it here, but actually this one I think I prefer it over here, because you see how it's so much wider, and it fit pretty perfectly into this size. Okay, so that's the, and then same thing with this. Like I have this beautiful one. It actually fits really nicely in here. Yeah, okay. We go there. All right, let's see what else. Okay, then I have, oh, I forgot to show you these. I have these. I buy these, are like almost, they're kind of called, I don't think they're called record sleeve, but they're used to store food bag and stuff, but very similar material, a little bit thinner than the 12 by 12 record sleeve that I use to store my collection. But these, you do have things that are super long that doesn't fit in any of these. I wish these would fit in the vertical one, this one. But they don't. This is 11, this is 12 long, and this is 12 long. Okay, so it doesn't fit. Now I already cut it down. I got the, this was sticking out on the top. I already cut that bit down, but it's still too long. So what I do is, I don't like the white part on the top, so, but I know what it is. So what I do is I put these over here, inside here. Maybe I have another one here somewhere. This one is from, whatchamacallit, somewhere, I can't remember. I threw away the thing. No, I didn't throw it away, but it's in another, see, I used to fold it, store it into the 4-pocket one, but I don't like that, so I'm going to take it out, and I'll find the, where it came from there later. I stick it in here, and then maybe I can even fit this one in here, because, right, good enough, because I can still see that bit. Now I don't like that that stick out. This is already 12, so this is not as bad because it's 11, so it can stick out. I know that my container has to fit at least 12, so you can stick out some here, but on here you don't want to, because, so I'm going to take this out, and I can see that my thingy has a little bit of space on the bottom here, on the top and on the bottom. So I'm going to give it a haircut, just so that it's a little bit shorter, and hopefully then it doesn't get caught in anything. That, actually, I'm going to do it like this, right? So that way I can fold it down a bit more. And now it is a little bit shorter, okay? Right on. Now, if you leave it like this, when you store it this way, it's gonna fall down. You see, it's already fall down. So what I found that works well for me is, where is it? I had it right here, is I have a removable Scotch tape. So all you do is, I just take this, I just fold it on here, and then fold it in the back here, so it stick to this this top plastic part. Okay, and do the same. Now you could do it, you can fold it and tape it in the back, but I don't want it. This is a lot easier to remove. I already tried a couple different ways. This is not, it's probably, this bottom part's still gonna go over, but it's definitely not gonna go over as much. And I don't think I even need to do it for the middle one. But you see, now everything I don't know if you can see it that way. Okay, but that's that. And then I just want to show you that these fits these, you have to cut it down in the height, but these fit these jewel thing, and there's several things that this size fits perfectly. I only found a 20-pack, but now I found a 100-pack now, after I looked high and low for it. So I already ran out of this, but I just bought some more. Love these. Okay, and that is it for the embellishment stuff, I think, right? Okay, then now let me show you the bin, or I may not use the bin actually. I'll decide, because I will have I will have the drawer. It's going to be in a drawer. So I may not even need the bin, but I think the bin is nice because if you need to pull the whole basket out, right, instead of just a few, oh, I forgot to stick that into the other one. Instead of just a couple of things, then you can pull the whole bin out. But I think I probably will more likely just flip and do. So I bought these bins are very common at Tuesday morning and at different craft store. I buy them when they're on sale, when they're like 50% off or whatever. I never buy the one that has the attached lids. I always buy them with the detached lids because I don't use the lids, and the one with the holder, so that way you can easily carry them. They're perfect. I don't remember what the exact size is, but they're like a little bit, they're 13 by 10-ish and by 5, because my sheet protector is 8.5. I don't want anything much shorter because it just flip over. So you remember these I show in the before. I just cut down the label part. In the back is the backing, has where it's from, the price and everything, so I'm good with that. So this is thicker, so I put it in the back here. I do have, so the one that I store and the one I just mentioned is up here because they're the shorter one. I try to stick them here, but these particular one, I bought this whole set is from one set from Anna Griffin. It's their border set for scrapbooking. It was so thick and so many and so forth. When I put just the paper backing, it just didn't hold the shape. So I actually cut out some chipboard and stick them in here, and I could put them in the front, but I think it's actually kind of nice to hold it back. I know that it's there. That's the only thing I have that's like that, so that's okay. And then in these, you can see I had some really nice, oh, that one I didn't see. One thing that I didn't tape down, and it already fall down, but that's okay. I'll do that later. You can see some of the things I have for that size that doesn't quite fit. See, I taped them there. You know, some of these very long strip. These, I found I really don't love these for maybe flower center. And these scrolls are so nice. These I store the like one in the back, yeah, and so on. So I have these in the front. And then I may not store this way later when I put them in the drawer, but I do these bows that you get from Hobby Lobby fit quite nicely in the 3-pocket one. Same with their they're a little bit bigger, but they go okay for these whatchamacallit, bows and rosette. Okay, and I store them right in front because they're a little bit you know, I don't want the rest of them to smash this down, but I may not store them in that. The bling and the bows and rosette will be on the same drawer, I'm hoping, because I'm moving the 2 original skinnier drawers that houses those 2 things into a wider drawer, double the size. So hopefully they'll fit all in one drawer. Then now I try to get like with like again. So you get these. I have some of these. Then like that. And I try to get like all the 4x4, the 4 pocket page kind of together because the sizing is good, you know, and so on. Isn't this amazing? It's like awesome. I can see everything. Oh, I left this in here not done because I just wanted to show you how these were so annoying that they'll just fall out because this is open from the top here, you know, and stuff like that. So to go from opening on the smaller version is so much better. So I have to transfer those over when I'm done here. So you got some nice one here, so on, yeah, and so on. I just want to flip through and show you because then you can see all my blings. I have so many blings. I still have more. I didn't even show you everything yet because I think I bought some blings from Beth Kingston from Kingston's Craft, but it came in its own container kind of like a photo album type thing. So I think I will keep it in there for the time being. And because it's nice and consolidate and everything else. But anyway, these I got to transfer over, and I'm so happy with them. Look at these. These were just this short, but I had several set. So the one I already used, I cut down the sheet, and now I can store it nicely in this container. That's like perfect. See how beautiful these look? Oh my gosh, right? And look, these I got from, I think I showed you recently in a haul from 99-cent stores. 99-cent store. Again, those will not fall down because they're 2-pocket, right? And then these are 1-pocket. A lot of the larger Dollar Tree stickers doesn't fit any other way. So that's fine because it's not going to fall out since it's going that way. Most of them I store on one side, but sometimes I store on both, depend on how thick things are. Right? So pretty. Oh, yes. And then I try to go with smaller gems in the front, smaller bits in the front, larger bit in the back. But these are the smaller one, but because they're in these, whatever, I may move them actually. But anyway, it's not so much. Before I had so many different albums to look through and everything else. Now it's so consolidated. I am super happy. I will not show you the drawer yet. I'll do that in my final craft room tour, but at least you know now how I organize these. I am so grateful you hang with me. I know I tend to be very verbose. And, oh my God, it's like an hour. I can't believe this. Anyway, I will bid you farewell. Checked out the Amazon link of the supplies that I use, as well as some of my affiliate link for scrapbook.com, chair on top, create for less, scrapbooking for less, and so on. I appreciate you, and I will see you real soon. Bye for now.